The following is a live presentation, not a special one, it's just a regular old presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Chuck, and welcome to the program for this 4th day of June, 2025. It's my mommy's birthday today. As a matter of fact, and today we go back, this is, I think, the last July stream. We're really just kind of cruising right along here. Saturday afternoon, I believe it's July 28th, 1956. From Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, the runaway Brooklyn Dodgers, who have they're playing 700 ball, will face the lowly Chicago Cubs in a game guaranteed that Chicago will blow Brooklyn out, because that's how things work for broadcasters. You think you're going to blow out one way and for the other. Sal the Barber Magley going for Brooklyn, as they hope to continue to build on their 10-game lead. Yes, 10-game lead, as we find August in our replay in the National League. The American League's a 5-team race. The National League is a 1-team race. Matt Rockwood is now batting for the Chicago Cubs and has accused me of putting in the 55 Dodgers and all that. I'll have to take a look. I actually think that 53 was a better team. It was the best Dodger team of the era. Not sure what the difference is between 55 and 56. How you doing, David? So with all that, it's a gorgeous day in Brooklyn. And there might even be a tree or two that grows there. See you in a minute. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today, from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York, it is the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Really, Ron, you can talk. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. I thought I hit. I did not. You, right there. And it will be on this 85-degree day in Brooklyn. Sal the Barber Magley getting the call for Brooklyn. The Cubs will counter with Hughes and not Pat. The Dodgers, this is game 92. And for the Cubbies, it is game number 91. The Dodgers come into this one at 64-27. It's about 10 years worth of wins for the Rockies, right? And the Cubbies come into this at 36-54. Magley, making his 12th of 26 starts for the Dodgers, is 39 years old. He's now just an old barber. Fastball at 82. Maybe we should just call him Floyd. And is a fly ball pitcher. He is 6-4 on the replay since coming over from Cleveland, with an earned run average of 425. How are you doing, Parallel League? You're here for the shave. I'm not the one shaving you. Magley last pitched on the 24th against Parallel League's Redlegs and lost to them twice in a row. In a 5-1 loss, he went 7 innings, 100 pitches, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned. A home run, he walked 4 and struck out 3. Since coming back to New York, 84 2/3, 70 hits, 40 runs, all earned, 13 homers. He's walked 35 and struck out 45. He throws that Bugs Bunny fastball at 82 and is a fly ball pitcher. The Cubbies lineup, he'll face Solly Drake, leads off in center field. Gene Baker at second will bat second. D. Fondy at first will go third. Ernie Banks cleans up at short. Walt Morin in right will go fifth. Jim King in left will bat sixth. Wonder if he's any relation to Larry. Don Hoke is at third. He'll bat seventh. Larry King's real last name was not King, by the way. Hobie Landreth behind the plate goes eighth, and Jim Hughes, who will pitch for the Dodgers at some point, or did pitch for the Dodgers at some point, will bat ninth. Magley can give you 125 pitches. Defensively for Brooklyn, Sandy Amoroso is 6-3 and left. Duke Snyder, who is having such a monumental year that he's already will crush his real-life numbers, an 8-7 in center. Carl Furillo is a 6-10 in right. The infield, Randy Jackson is a 6 at third. Pee Wee Reese an 8 and a 7 at short. Junior Gilliam is a 9 and a 6 at second. And Gil Hodges a 10 at first. Campanella a 10 and a 10 behind the plate. And Magley is a 7 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Oh, Floyd. Oh, yeah. I forgot the name of the actor, Harold somebody, who played Floyd the Barber. But he had a stroke either in the first or second season of Andy Griffith. And so when he would appear on screen, he would just kind of stand behind a chair and hold on. They tried their best to get him as actively involved as they possibly could. Solly Drake at 241, a home run and 5 RBI. Again, it's a hot Saturday in Brooklyn. 85 degrees and the wind blowing from right to left. So at 15, so kind of coming off of the Long Island Sound, but with Ebbets Field being really right in the middle of the borough, it's just uncomfortable and sticky. Drake pops it up, right side. Gilliam tries to get around a couple hot dog wrappers, 1 out. Name was Floyd Lawson. That wasn't the name of the actor, that was the name of the character. Howard somebody was in it, and I forget the last name. Gene Baker at 246, 8 homers and 25 RBI. A character actor, did some work on the Jack Benny show too. How you doing, Paul? And a happy birthday to my mom. Yep. Oh, Howard McNear. That's right. Yep, my mom's birthday today. She is, well, older than I am. Pitch to Baker. There's a chopper. No, not a chopper. A line drive. Jackson leaps and makes the catch, 2 out. Randy puts up the 2 fingers. Here's D. Fondy at 268, 8 homers and 35 RBI. Yep, Mom's birthday. Didn't plan it that way that we would stream on her birthday. We did a stream on her birthday the year that she turned 4. You can do some math. Pitch to Fondy. There is a line drive over Gilliam into center field, and Pee Wee Reese will get charged with that poor play. So the Cubbies have a 2-out single. Pee Wee not used to making bad plays. Here is Ernie Banks. Ernie at 264, 19 homers and 60 RBI. Bagley deals, and Ernie sends this one into left center. Snyder should have plenty of room. He does, and that will take care of Chicago. Half an inning in the books, no runs, a hit, and no errors. Chicago leaves on a runner. Cubs, here come the Dodgers. So here is Jim Hughes, who started the year for apparently the Dodgers and then came over to Chicago. Bluegill, I wonder if Jim fishes. Making his only start of the replay. He is 1-3 with a 2.35 ERA. Jim is 33. He throws a fastball around 87 and a ground ball plus pitcher. His last appearance was July 20th, so 8 days ago against the Giants. He faced 1 batter on 3 pitches. 30 2/3 for Jim, 26 hits, 8 runs, all earned. He's allowed 2 home runs. He has walked 16 and struck out 10. The Dodger lineup. Jim Gilliam leads off at second. Pee Wee Reese at short will bat second. Duke Snyder in center field will go third. Carl Furillo, if you go back to yesterday's conversations about Hall of Famers, I don't know what Furillo's overall career numbers are, but he just never got the respect he deserved. He cleans up and right. Randy Jackson will bat 5th and play 3rd. Gil Hodges at first goes 6th. Sandy Amoros in left will bat 7th. Roy Campanella behind the plate batting 8th. And Magley will cut your hair in the 9-hole. Hughes can give you 100 pitches. So undoubtedly a bullpen game for the Cubs. I was about to say the White Sox, but too much blue on that screen. Jim King is a 4 and a 4 in left for Chicago. Solly Drake a 4 and a 3 in center. Walt Morin is a 5 and a 7 in right. Don Hoke is a 4 at third. Ernie Banks is 7 and a 7 at short. At one point, there was ads for 7 and 7 here in Ebbetsfield. Gene Baker, an 8 and an 8 at second. D. Fondy, a 5 at first. Hobie Landreth, a 5 and a 5 behind the plate. Hughes is only a 2. Great and Strat, not good here, in a 1,000 fielding percentage. Gilliam comes in with a 17-game hitting streak, hitting .312, 6 triples, 3 homers, and 34 RBI. Hughes starts his afternoon with a ground ball to Fondy at first. D underhands it to the pitcher covering, and Gilliam is out. To finish up on the hot dog thing from yesterday, as Pee Wee Reese steps in at .295, 6 homers, and 49 RBI. Got a note from Mark Unger yesterday saying that you don't put ketchup on a dog. Must be a northern New England thing. Mark grew up in the New York metropolitan area. Mustard and onions is what he said. I honestly think that's just a regional thing, what you put on a hot dog. Pitch to Pee Wee. It's a ground ball between Fondy and Baker in the hole and right. Morin will throw back in. So a leadoff single or a 1-out single for Pee Wee. Here's Duke Snider. Duke hitting .355, 37 home runs, and driving in 102. That is a Triple Crown year for sure. His 28 doubles is second in the National League. Mr. Rockwood, by the way, in his Milwaukee Braves hat, trying to sew together a Duke Snider voodoo doll. Pitch to Snider into center field. Drake moving back, way back there, and long gone. 38 for Duke. And now 104 RBIs, and before the Hilda gets that cowbell going, Duke Snider just hit one 453 feet. A gargantuan shot into the upper deck. Kaboom indeed. The Soviets trying to work on Sputnik saw that one in their own labs. That is his 12th home run of the month. Unbelievable. I don't even like using that word, but wow. Here's Ferrillo. Carl at .328, 12 homers and 50 RBI. Snider put so much of a charge into that, Con Ed charged him for it. Pitch to Ferrillo is a bounder over Banks into left field. King will pick it up on a couple hops, and Carl has a single. So the D. Scott Howard, just close your eyes and swing method has really worked for the Dodgers. Here's Randy Jackson at .268, 5 homers and 34 RBI. Dodgers a 2-1 favorite to win this game, according to you guys. Pitch to Jackson is a ground ball past Baker in the hole and right. That's going to get past Drake. Morin will field it off the fence. Ferrillo around third. They're going to run a waltz arm. Morin to Baker, and Baker just holds on to it, and the Dodgers are up 3-0. Triple G with the golf clubs. How are you? And Andrew? The Dodgers are just a team on fire right now. Here's Gil Hodges hitting .317, 19 homers, and 68 RBI. Captain Carl, how are you? So Jackson on second. The Dodgers a 3-spot on the board. Pitch to Gil. There's a chopper that will get past Banks into left field. Jackson around third. He'll hold. As King cut it off early, and the Dodgers have runners on the corners. Yep, my mom's birthday today. Sandy Amorose hitting .270, 5 triples, 7 homers, and 33 RBI. So runners on the corners, 1 out. What a start for Brooklyn. It's a beautiful day for golf. Yes, but at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, Triple G. Will you still be saying that? Be honest now. I don't know how that came up. Pitch to Amorose. Runners on the corners, and Sandy draws the walk. Someone from Canada's having a cookout. Yeah, my wife is not having fun with all that smoke. At least bring down some sauce, right? Jackson on third. Hodges on second. Amorose on first for Campanella, hitting .231, 12 homers, and 39 RBI. Bobby says it's more like goof than golf when he played. Yeah, you're not sure. I do wonders to Triple G's confidence. Just channel the little 9-iron that could. Or putter. Whatever. I think I can. Pitch to Campy. Swings, and there's a ground ball by Ernie Banks. That's a base hit. Jackson will score. Hodges will hold, and it's a 4-0 game. For Magley, who hopes to continue to cut Chicago short, hitting .156 before RBI. Bobby says he swung through more trees than Tarzan. I think my wife and cat have called the loony bin at this point. Pitch to Magley. Bases loaded, and that got away from Landreth on a pass ball. And it's 5-0 Brooklyn. Wow. And a 2-1 count to Magley. I turn into my alter egos on a golf course. Bushman, Bob, Sandtrap, Sammy, and Waterhole Willie. I bet you have some nice golf courses down in the Nashville area. It all depends on the driver, Triple G says, and if the Doug Hook shows up. How you doing, Scotty? Scotty's efforts have netted 5 runs in the bottom of the first. There's still only 1 out. Pitch to Magley is a ground ball to Baker. Amorose should score on this. Mean Gene, the throwing machine, throws to first, and it's 6-0 Brooklyn with 2 out. And that will do it for Jim Hughes. He couldn't even get out of the first inning. Russ Meyer will come in. Meyer, better known as Rowdy, is 33 years old. Yep. Holy cow! Yep. Meyer as a fastball pitcher at 84 and a fly ball pitcher. And his ERA would make Minnie Pearl go, howdy! 2-4. He has 1 more start to go. This is his 12th appearance. Meyer last pitched on the 9th of June. He got a start in a 15-3 win over the Phillies. 5 innings, 99 pitches. Ring them bells, Hilda. Yep. 3 runs, 2 earned, a home run. He walked 4 and struck out 2. So Meyer overall, 38 innings, 59 hits, 38 runs, 29 earned, 7 homers. He has walked 23 and struck out 16. Campanella on third. There's still 2 out in the bottom of the first. It's taken us 19 minutes to get here. Gilliam is 0 for 1. Meyer deals, and Gilliam draws the walk. Todd B. TBS would interrupt this game with the 5th episode of Sanford and Son. Elizabeth, coming for the big one. Pee Wee Reese, earlier in this inning, singled and scored. There's a ground ball to Baker. Gene throws to first, and it's finally over. However, the Dodgers, 6 runs, 6 hits, and they leave on 2. 2! After 1, it's the Dodgers a lot, Chicago zip. So Magley, given a 6-run cushion, will face 5, 6, and 7. Morin, King, and Hoke. Walt at 288, 10 homers and 35 RBI. That is into center. Snyder will make the catch. And if you don't think that Duke Snyder has carried this team on his back, you missed that what the computer called a 453-foot shot in the dead center his first time up. Here's Jim King. Jim at 229, 12 homers and 29 RBI. Pitch to King, swing and a line drive to Pee Wee, 2 out. Pee Wee, who made a bad play in the first, makes a great play here in the second. For Don Hoke, hitting 180. Looks like Gene Kelly in that picture, doesn't he? 5 homers and 14 RBI. Scotty's ready to vote in the pool. A poll. You think the Dodgers have this one locked up, do you? Pitch to Hoke is a ground ball that's going to get past Hodges down the line and right. Ferrillo snares it, and Hoke is held to a single. Hoke looks up, tries to find the goat so he can stick his tongue out. 2 out for Landreth. Hobie at 244. 4 homers and 18 RBI. Magley deals. Hobie swings, popped up right side. Ferrillo waits and makes the catch, and that will... Nope, it's a foul ball. And somebody from Long Island City made that catch. So 2-2 the count. 2 out, Magley deals. Struck him out. First for Sal. That was not a close shave. After an inning and a half, no runs, a hit. The Cubs have left on 2, but the Dodgers have a 6-0 lead. So here's Snyder with Ferrillo and Jackson to follow. Duke hit his 38th of the year in the first, and he's now driven in 104. Pitch to Snyder is a liner down the side and right over Fondy in front of Morin, and the Duke is 2 for 2. For Ferrillo, who has a single and a run scored. 7th hit for the Dodgers in an inning and change. That is up the middle. Will drop in front of Solly Drake. Snyder on his way to third. Drake's throw to Hoke is not in time, I would think. No, it got away from Hoke. Ferrillo moves up to second, and Snyder scores to make it 7-0. Ferrillo ended up all the way at third as Drake's throw found the Cubs dugout. My word. When you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. Here's Randy Jackson. He doubled home a run in the first, and then later scored. Scotty's instructional 16mm film, Hit My Way, will be available to you soon at Kresge's, Woolworths, and TG&Y. Pitch to Jackson. That's a base hit into left center field. Ferrillo claps his hands as he scores. And it's 8-0 Brooklyn. Here's Gil Hodges. He singled and scored in the first. We're quickly getting to the point where Skip Carey's about to make an appearance. Hodges popped it up. Banks waits. That wind is howling out to right center now at 19 coming off the East River. Definitely hot one today, yep. Can we talk about hot dogs? We did that yesterday. It's like watching the Bad News Bears and Tanner's cursing it short. Yep. Amoros walked and scored in the first. We did that yesterday. Pitch to Amoros. And Sandy draws the walk. Meyer is pitching his bat as well as the starter, Hughes. So 1 out for Campanella, who's laughing to himself. He singled home a run in the first. First and second, 1 out. Pitch to Campy. There is a ground ball to Meyer, first base side of the rubber. Baker for 1, Fondy for 2. And that will do. However, the Dodgers get 2 more on 3 hits in an hour. And after 2, it's Brooklyn 8. Chicago might want to come off the bus. So let's see what they do with Russ Meyer. 1 for 12 in real life and 1 for 12 on the replay. Stays in the game. Ground ball to Gilliam. 1 out. Well, it's the easiest 9 batters that Sal Maglie will ever face. 27 pitches, 2 1/3, 2 hits and a K. How hot is it? They've asked the Statue of Liberty to put her arm down. P.U. It's supposed to be close to 90 here by dinner time. Solly Drake is 0 for 1. Hits this one past Hodges in the right field for Furillo, and Solly has a single. Going to be 90 in Nashville. And an hour and 10 fake minutes in, it's all Dodgers. "55 minutes, but you're close. The last 55 minutes have not seen the Cubs cover themselves in clover. Late to the stream, Cody says, but yeah, the Dodgers wasted no time. It all started with a Duke Snider 453-foot computer blast to center field. Baker's 0 for 1. Drake on first. Gene strikes out. That's 2 for Maglie. Got him in there at the knees on a fastball, 2 out. Here's Fondy. He singled his first time up. Yep, you gotta love blowouts. 87 degrees, so we're not in the free ice cream stage yet. Pitch to Fondy is a pop-up right side. Gilliam waits, dances with the wind, and makes the catch. After 2.5, no runs. The Cubs got a hit, and they've left on 3. And after 2.5, 8-0 Brooklyn. So Maglie will hit. Then Gilliam and Reese here in the bottom of the third. Sal has an RBI. Now it's 5 on the year. He's 0 for 1. That is a base hit past Banks. Banks and Baker converged, but the ball found the hole. And for the Dodgers, that's their 10th hit. Everybody has reached. By the third inning, everyone has reached in this game. Junior Gilliam has walked. He's 0 for 1. He has a 17-game hitting streak. Meyer deals. That is in the right center field. Will drop in front of Drake, and now Gilliam has an 18-game hitting streak as he hits his 5th double. Brings up Pee Wee Reese, who is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Is this the type of Cub performance that had a young kid named Harry Carey start drinking? There is, let me slur my words. There isn't enough old style at the bar to cover this shellacking. They might even let in goats at this point. Pitch to Pee Wee. Popped up. Right side. Baker. Infield fly called. Baker almost on the grass makes the catch. These would be the games, Todd, that they would have to start running Harry on a 7-second delay. Harry to be letting him out now. He might be a Cub fan, but this would be a 6-pack of Bud. Here's Snider. Duke has singled and homered. He's now driven in 104. He's hit 38 home runs. And he's now scored twice. He now has 85 runs in this, the 92nd game for the Dodgers. Has a chance for 2 more RBI here. He's going to cash in on some of that as that gets past Banks. Maglie scores. Gilliam wheels around third. King throws it in the infield. Snider has driven in 4. And the Dodgers, with 1 out in the third, have a 10 spot on the Cubs. Harry was born with a 7-second delay. Here's Furillo. Carl is 2 for 2. He is singled twice. This is so stunning that D. Scott is just, you can see the smile all the way across the country. Pitch to Furillo. Snider on first, and Carl draws the walk. I got to be out of here by 1:30. It's taken us a half hour to play the first 3. Randy Jackson has singled, doubled, driven in 2, and scored 1. Russ Meyer has allowed 6 hits in an inning and 2/3. 4 runs. Here's the pitch. That's into center. Drake has to go back. That's well hit. That is caught. Snyder will not tag when you got a 10-run lead. Why the heck would you do that? P. Gent just voted for the Cubs. He is the eternal optimist. This would scare the goats back to the barn. Yeah. Here's Hodges. Gill 1 for 2. He has singled and scored a run. 10 runs for the Dodgers in the first 3 innings. First and second, center field. Solly Drake has to go back and make the catch, and that will do. Dodgers have left on 5. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. You can leave on as many as you want if you got a 10 spot after 3. Dodgers 10, Cubs nothing. So Banks, Moore, and King to face Magley here. Ernie is 0 for 1. Sal starts the 4th. Pop-up, right side. Furillo, Hodges, it'll be Gill, and there is 1 out. In fact, a great catch for Hodges. Well, in this case, wouldn't the fat lady be Hilda? Hilda Chester, wasn't that her name, David? Who rang the cowbell at Ebbets Field. And the Dodgers have scored so much, even Madonna's jealous. Walt Morin is 0 for 1. There is a high ground ball to Gilliam. Junior throws to first, 2 out. For Jim King, who is 0 for 1. That is up the middle, past the mound. Pee Wee behind the bag, throws to first. King is running, and he's out. Well, well, well. Cubbies go in order after 3.5. Dodgers 10, Chicago nothing. Oops, I forgot to change the leagues. The Dodgers come into this one at 64-27. They're playing 7-0-3 ball. That is a pace to win 108 games. That's incredible. Yep, their catchers were Hobie Landreth and Harry Chitt. Both would end up on the 62 Mets. that is bleak. Brooklyn's lead over Milwaukee is 10. Milwaukee, as we said yesterday, would be leading the American League. And no one else is above 500. The Cubs are in last place at 36-54. American League, it's a 5-team horse race. The White Sox a game up on Cleveland, 2.5 on Detroit, 4.5 on Boston, and 5.5 on the Yankees. Baltimore kind of sliding out of it. Washington playing above their heads, and Kansas City is waiting for Lenny Dawson. Why are we defaulting back here? All right, hold on. We'll be right back. I don't know why that took so long. Now I gotta wait to see if it pops back up. All right. Here's in the ball game. Amoros here to start the 4th has walked twice and scored once. Yeah, even action PC. Say that last name 10 times. Which last name is that? We take you now to our feature presentation of Heidi. Only on Retro Sports Network. I can walk. I'm going to get out of the chair and walk. Yeah, we interrupt this broadcast to make it longer. True story on the Heidi game, pitch to Amorose, struck him out. And the Cubs actually getting out. How about that? Meyer got him up and chasing 0-2. Here's Campanella 1 for 2. He has singled and driven in a run. The scene where the little girl falls over the cliff or tries to walk and hurts herself because she can't walk. That dramatic moment in the movie, which started precisely at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in New York. The boneheads at the National Broadcasting Company ran a crawl on the screen, which informed the nation that the Oakland Raiders had defeated the New York Jets. Sometimes you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Pitch to Campy. Struck him out. 2 for Meyer. Here's Magley. Sal, the barber, 1 for 2. He is singled, scored, and driven in a run. He's now driven in 5. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Ah, yes. The Dodgers broke the computer. There's a fly. Are you kidding? A fly ball to right. Morin coming in, rides the subway, and will make the catch. And the Dodgers go in order for the first time today. After 4, 10-0 Brooklyn. I think Native dated Heidi later in life. Here's Don Hoke. Hoke is 1 for 1. Did you know, I read this the other day, that when they brought Family Feud back in the 80s, pitch to Hoke. There's a ground ball to third. Jackson has it over to Hodges. Hoke's running. This will be close. Bang, banger. Got him. That Joe Namath auditioned and had gotten the job that would eventually go to Ray Combs. There was a falling out somewhere. Well, there was in the contract negotiations or what. But it would have been Joe Namath, the host of Family Feud. Hobie Landreth struck out his first time up. And Hobie draws the walk. Here's Russ Meyer. He's 0 for 1. I found some zero sugar lemonade at the store. It's a hot enough day for it. It actually tastes pretty good. And Monty Irvin will pinch hit. So Meyer, who has been the only effective pitcher for the Cubs, will come out. Monty Irvin is a pinch hitter, 364 and 4 RBI. Overall hitting 239, 6 homers and 27 RBI. Joe, you can't grow up the female contestants. No. I want to kiss you, Grammy. Joe Namath hosting Family Feud would have certainly been more in the Richard Dawson. I think that's why they went with him, because it would have been closer to Dickie Dawson. Here we go. Runner on first is Landreth. Irvin swings, pops it up. Campanella will make the catch, and there's 2 out. Rasali Drake, Solly 1 for 2. Magley, 18 batters, 61 pitches, 4 2/3, 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. I mean, this is the type of stuff you don't find on a Fortnite stream. Drake strikes out, and Magley's through 5. Mo Drabowski? I didn't realize he pitched for the Cubs. Future Oriole pitchers of America will take the mound. You're going to get a commercial on this 75-degree day. Halfway home, 10-0 Brooklyn. I got a story about that too, Paul. If you joined us late, go visit our sponsors. You can change the channel now. Al Red Sox meets the Three Stooges, or The new Leave It to Beaver marathon on TBS. Jerry Mathers, by the way, just had a birthday. All right, if you joined us late, here's how he got here. No runs, 3 hits and errors for the Cubs. Brooklyn, 10 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. Gloucester Foster, by the way, running on a 2-hour delay. Dodgers send 11 to the plate in the first. Duke Snider hit a 453-foot Titan missile in the dead center for his 38th of the year to make it 2-0. Randy Jackson doubled home for Rillo to give him 3. Campanella singled home Jackson Yo-Dog to make it 4. Gil Hodges scored on a pass ball to make it 5-0. And then Sal Magley hit a ground ball, fielder's choice, to make it 6-0. That was after the first. In the second, Carl Furillo singled home Snider to make it 7-0. Randy Jackson singled home Furillo to make it 8-0. In the third, Junior Gilliam with a double, 18-game hitting streak, and then Duke Snider, that man again, a 2-run single to make it 10-0. We won't go through the Cubs pitchers. Magley, on the other hand, a 3-hitter through 5, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Drabowski, this might be his major league debut. He's 21 years old, the Snake Man. Throws it hard, 94, fastball pitcher. In real life, 2 and 4 of the 2.47 ERA. 9 appearances, 7 starts, and 3 finishes. The rest of it I can read off of here. 51 innings, 37 hits, a home run. He walked 39 and struck out 36. He'll face Gilliam, Pee Wee Reese, and Duke Snider. And if this is Drabowski's fake debut, oh my goodness. Yeah, you're going to face Duke Snider, now hitting 360. Gilliam, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. He has walked, doubled, and scored. I'm guessing the Culber family with little Susie passed on getting in on the show. So did I. Sarah and I love Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes reruns on TV after school. Yep, that's 4 o'clock for here. And for Gus, I don't know how old Paul is, but I was, I'd have been 8, so 78, or 7, so 78. Here was, or 4:30, here was my introduction to comedy. At 4 o'clock was Little Rascals. At 4:30 was Lucy. At 5 o'clock was Hogan's Heroes. And at 5:30 was The Odd Couple. Pitch to Gilliam. There is a fly ball to right. Morin going back. That's well hit. Walt, trying to find some real estate, will make a great catch against the fans. So Morin gives Mo, who has 75 pitches in his arsenal, an out. Here's Pee Wee Reese, 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. In real life, we used to rush him to watch Dark Shadows. Barnabas. Barnabas, please take care of the Cubs. Real life, the Dodgers continue to run away with it. They'll probably sit all the players in September. They'll play all the way through because it was Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Cincy all the way down to the last week of the season. Little Rascals at 7:30 before P-Jet went to school on Channel 11. On the island, Pee-wee 1 for 3, a singled and scored. That is up the middle. Baker can't get there, and the Dodgers just continue to take the Cubbies out behind the woodshed. Here's Duke Snider. Duke has 3 hits on the day. He has 2 singles, his 38th home run. He's now driven in 106 and scored twice. Struck him out. Drabowski with a wry smile as Snider looked at strike 3. 2 out for Furillo. Furillo has singled twice, scored twice, and walked. So Newkirk on Hogan's Heroes, played by the affable but rather ego-driven Dickie Dawson, wanted to do that character with a Liverpoolian accent, a Scouse accent, if you will. And so he tried it, and the very American Southern Californian staffing crews for CBS said, well, no one would be able to understand that. And then 4 kids from Liverpool came around. And I think John, Paul, George, and Ringo were quite understandable, don't you? Pitch to Furillo. Struck him out. Drabowski fans, too. How about that? No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 6th, 10-0 Brooklyn. Odd couple was great. All right. Play well there, Triple G. Dizzy, Jim, you grew up in Atlanta? A cartoon show hosted by Dizzy Dean where everyone slid into third. All right, Andrew. Not missing much, I'm sure. Gene Baker 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Magley starts the 6th. That's a ground ball past Hodges down the line and right. Furillo cut it off and throws it in, and Baker's held to a single. Here's Fondy. D is 1 for 2. Hopefully Triple G plays well. Fly ball, left field, Amoros. Fondy was 1 for 2. Amoros runs a ways and makes the catch. Baker back to first. Oh, Bossier City at that time. Is that in Georgia? Speaking of the Beatles, the Cubs are singing "Help." I need anybody help, not just anyone. Help, I need someone. Help. Ernie Banks is 0 for 2. Magley deals, runner on first, ground ball to Hodges. Gill will grab it. He'll go to Reese for 1. Pee Wee throws back to Hodges, and that is a 3-6-3 double play. So through 5.5, Cubs no runs, a hit, no errors. Dodgers 10, Chicago nothing. So Randy Jackson, Gil Hodges, and Amoros to face Drabowski here in the 6th. Randy is 2 for 3. He has singled, doubled, driven in 2, and scored a run. Oh, Louisiana. WWL land. Pitch to Jackson. Struck him out. That's 3 for Mo. Mo would later move to Springfield and open a tavern. Here's Hodges, 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. Got him. That's 4. So Drabowski, who fanned 36 in 51 innings, if this is his debut, someone want to check that? When he first pitched at 56? Or if he pitched before 56 in the majors, has fanned 4. Amoros has walked twice, struck out once, and scored. He's 0 for 1. That is up the middle. Baker behind the bag over to Fondy, and that will retire the Dodgers in the 6th. They scored 10 in the first 3 innings, and now they've been held off the board. We go to the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Brooklyn 10, Chicago nothing. So Morin, King, and Hoke to face Magley here in the 7th. Walt is 0 for 2. Across the river from Shreveport. Oh, Dad worked at Barksdale as a civilian. Nice. Pitch to Walt. That is into center. Snyder will make the catch because Duke doesn't make mistakes. 1 out for Jim King. Jim is 0 for 2. There is a fly ball to left. Amoros is the shutout over. That is well hit. Sandy turns off the wall. Amoros quickly holds it into second, and for King, that's his 6th double of the year. And for the Cubs, that's their 5th hit of the afternoon. Oak is 1 for 2. Dawn is single. So Jim Carey says, so you're saying there's a chance? His first game pitched is 8-7-56. Okay, so Mo is about a week early. So Drabowski in his Major League debut, at least for us, has fanned 4. Hoke walks. Thank you, sir. So first and second now for Chicago. 90 degrees. Everyone gets free ice cream, and that wind is howling out to center now at 19. Landreth 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. First and second, Hobie swings. Ground ball past Reese. This should score King. Ambrose throws it in, and nope, bases loaded for Mo Drabowski. Now what does the computer do? King on third, Hoke on second, Landreth on first. One out. Magley nursing a 10-0 lead. Mo in real life went 4 for 16. He's not a bad hitter. He stays in the game. Popped it up. Pee-wee by second base. Makes the catch. 2 out for Solly Drake. Magley, 27 batters, 90 pitches. 6 2/3, 6 hits, no runs. He's walked 2 and struck out 3. Drake 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Most started 7 and 9. And 56. Computer wants a forfeit. Todd's board. Pitch to Drake. Struck him out! And the Cubbies do not score. Stretch time 10-0 Brooklyn. Campanella, Magley, and Gilliam here in the 7th. Roy 1 for 3 is singled, driven in a run, and grounded into a double play. Drabowski starts the 7th. A ground ball, line drive to Hoke, rather, and Don leaps and makes the catch, 1 out. 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Brooklyn. And they've left on 6. Cubbies, no runs, 6 hits an hour, and they have left on 7. Magley 1 for 3 is singled, scored, and driven in a run. Pitch to Sal. Struck him out. 5 for Drabowski. My word. What a way to start your career, kid. Here's Jim Gilliam. Jim 1 for 3. He has doubled, scored, and walked. That is up the middle. Banks can't get there, and that's Junior's second hit of the afternoon. 91 degrees. Winds blowing out to dead center at 19. Dairy Lee for everybody. Here's Pee Wee Reese. Pee Wee 2 for 4. He has singled twice and scored. Wait till Todd explains to Mrs. Todd why the grass isn't cut. But I watched a guy play a fake game on YouTube, and it wasn't even close. There's probably a sim for that too, Todd. I did mow the lawn. Oh wait, on the computer. There's a ground ball to the mound. Drabowski, first base side, throws to Fondy. Pee Wee retired. Gilliam to second. And, well, nope, no it's not, because that's the side. After 7, no runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 8th. Brooklyn 10, Chicago nothing. So Baker, Fondy, and Banks to face Magley here in the 8th. Gene is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Fly ball, left center, Ambrose should track this one down. He does. 1 out. Last couple of days, they've been tearing down the old Catholic church here in town, and they're working on a homeless shelter next door and an apartment complex about a block away. And so while I've been eating my breakfast this week, you get to hear the sound of crunching metal. The best part of waking up is not necessarily Folgers in your cup. D. Fondy 1 for 3 with a single. No lawn cut means I do laundry and fix supper. I'll take some tacos. Pitch to Fondy. Struck him out. That's 5 from Magley. I did my laundry today, Todd. You don't have to do my laundry. Ernie Banks is 0 for 3. He has grounded into a double play. 2 out. Magley working quickly now. Fly ball, left field. Amorose down in the corner. That's well hit, but should stay in the yard. Sandy's there and makes the catch, and that will take care of the Cubs. After 7.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. Some sour cream, some taco sauce will be good. 10-0 Brooklyn. So Snyder, Ferrillo, and Randy Jackson to face Mo Drabowski, who, by the way, has fanned 5 in 3 innings, including Snyder, who is 3 for 4. He has singled twice, a home run, and is now driven in 106. Struck it. Mo has fanned 6. You never know where the stories are going to come from. I think that's why we play the games. My word. Ferrillo 2 for 3. He has singled twice, scored twice, walked, and struck out. Meeting tomorrow, and so our next live stream will be Monday. Pitch to Ferrillo. Struck 7 for Mo. He has 11 outs to his credit and has fanned 7. What a debut for this kid. He's on the wrong end of a 10-0 score. But he has put on a show. Randy Jackson 2 for 4. Single, double, 2 RBI, and a run scored. Mo deals. That hit the mound. Baker over to Fondy, and that will be the day for Brooklyn. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 9th. Todd B's lawn is calling. It is Brooklyn 10, Chicago nothing. So Morin, King, and Hoke to face Magley, looking for the shutout. And just in case you're wondering, the Cubs need 10 to tie and 11 to go ahead. Morin is 0 for 3. Magley starts the 9th. Popped up. Right side. That's well hit, actually. Ferrillo, is he going to be able to get there, or is that going to hook foul? Made the catch. 1 out. Go get your good shoes on, Todd. Two outs to go. Jim King 1 for 3 with a double. Magley's pitch. Struck him out. Magley is fanned 6. So last chance saloon for the Cubbies. 85 here. Wait till it gets cooler. Scotty hits the road tomorrow. Goats on the schedule. Nice. So we're with you Monday. Big Dave, how you doing? It's warm in Rochester, 96, or just about 90. It will be. 76 and windy is what the computer says. Magley needs to give up 10. So Amorose can have a chance to hit. Everyone's reached for Brooklyn. Don Hoke, last chance saloon, 1 for 2 with a walk. Sal deals. That is a base hit. Don't get started there, Jim. Hits off the wall, and Hoke has a 2-out charity double. 7 hit for the Cubs. Here's Landreth. Hobie 1 for 2. He is singled, walked, and struck out. Popped him up. Left field. Amorose. Waits. Dodgers win. Gosh. The tension in this one was unbearable, wasn't it? In 2 hours and 30 fake minutes, the Dodgers go to 65 and 27. The Cubbies fall to 36 and 55. For Brooklyn, 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors. They leave on 7. The Cubbies, no runs, 7 hits, an error, and they left on 8. All before 1 p.m. Was Magley a war victim, David? Magley gets the complete game win. 9 innings, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Drabowski gets co-MVP in his major league debut. 4 innings, 2 hits, and 7 strikeouts. Oh, my word. Scotty says game of the year candidate. Okay there. No, at least in my question in the description, The answer is no. No one could stop Brooklyn, at least today. Duke Snider would normally be the solo MVP because he hit a home run and drove in 4. But Drabowski, 7 strikeouts in his debut, gets a mention. So, don't look, Rockwood. At the moment, the lead is 10.5. Would you believe that? No, he had a dispute with the Giants. Oh, and went to Mexico to play for some good cash. Oh, and then he got banned. Okay. Sal from Rochester? The rest of this July 28th in baseball. Paul Foytak gets a big win. Tigers down the Nationals 9-3. Foytak 10-6. Ramos 6-4. Earl Torgerson hits his 12th, goes 3 for 3. Cardinals beat the Giants 6-3. Oh, Foytak struck out 12, by the way. Cardinals, despite 4 errors, beat the Giants 6-3. Finnegar, Ben Mizell 7-9. Ruben Gomez falls to 6-8. Stan the Man 2 for 4, hits a 16th. Redlegs shut out the Pirates 2-0. Johnny Klipstein 6-12. Klein 7-12. Bell 2 for 4 with a steal. Cleveland beat Baltimore 2-1. Mike Garcia 9-5. Johnson 5-5, and Strickland 2 for 3. Red Sox beat the White Sox, and the American League is tied again, 3-2. Russ Nixon was the one, 6-4. Howell 3-1, and Bailey 1 for 3 with the triple. Yankees in 11, pound out 17 hits, beat the A's 12-8. Grimm 3-4 gets the win. Crimian takes the loss 1 for 4. Yogi Berra 4 for 5. Hits his 21st, and that will be our last July stream. When we're with you live on Monday, dun 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 dun, the Milwaukee Braves, dun 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 dun, and the Brooklyn Dodgers. Lou Burdett, Sal Magley, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. See you then. Have a good weekend. You're more than welcome.